Okay guys, just messing about with the settings there. Just going to put my glove on actually as I'm holding this phone without my glove, and it's absolutely freezing. And just walking along a dark path in some woodland on these Haslingden moors in Lancashire, UK. Just a few miles from Pendle Hill. I set a trail cam up there the other day to see if we can catch anything unusual, because Pendle Hill is well known for the unexplained, but so is this area. And the reason I've come over to these Haslingden moors tonight is because there is many sightings of a big black cat in this area. 2 sightings this week. I also bought another trail camera today. I've been over to Pendle Hill. I've set that up, so we've got 2 running over Pendle Hill, and I've set a trail camera up just on the moorland next to this little woodland walk. It's very cold. I'm just going to put my glove on. Any comments, I'll have a look in a second. Won't be a minute. So it has gone cold. The skies are very clear. Won't be a second. Just get this glove on. Okay, so the skies have gone very clear. We've got a very cold northerly wind coming down, and there's a forecast of a lot of snow in the area over the next few days. There was actually a forecast for some snow today, but so far nothing. But lovely and clear, really clear skies. And I was half and half, do I get the Cyanix camera out and film these skies, or just have a walk down here and do a live stream tonight? But very clear nights coming up, so plenty of time to film these skies. So very quiet area in this little woodland. There's a little path leading through this woodland, and it is live. And this wild big cat has been seen twice this week on this very path by people walking their dogs. So a trail cam is set up in this area. 2 trail cams on Pendle Hill, not just for the big cat. Who knows what these trail cams are going to pick up. Pendle Hill is well known for the unexplained. Of course, well known for the witches back in 1612 when 10 of them were hanged in Lancaster. Personally, I think they were innocent women and a victim of very sad times. But there's a lot of paranormal occurrences over there on Pendle Hill. So who knows? Trail cams are set up. A couple of people have commented maybe get a thermal imaging camera. I've been looking at them today. I will get one of them for the channel, just to add to the equipment for the channel. Got a drone the other day. Again, another piece of equipment to add to the channel. So I'm just going to put these reading glasses on, guys, because I can see some comments coming up and I can't read a thing without them. So 2 things I've got to do now is take off. I've just had to put the flashlight up to the side a second, so it's gone dark. I'm going to take off my glove, get my glasses on. I'm all on my own out here. So, and there's no one around, so if there is, won't be a sec. I know the screen has gone dark. I'm just trying to get my glove back on with one hand here. You can see, I'll use my teeth. Right, we're back. Trying to do everything on your own, holding this phone, holding these flashlights, putting your reading glasses on, trying to put your glove back on when your hands are absolutely freezing. My fingers are dropping off. It really has gone cold. Give me a second. Right, we're all set up now. So now I've got my reading glasses on. Just going to tilt them a bit so I can read the comments but also see over them into this landscape as I'm walking. Trying to keep this camera steady, but even with these gloves my hands are freezing. Corey lad, oh yes, my favourite channel. Thank you very much, Corey. Happy Sacks, happy place. Hiya matey, how are you doing? Cliff Fitzjohn. Now I'm not sure whether your name is Cliff or John. I think I've commented Cliff in the comments. Very brave doing this on your own at night. Love this, thank you. Alan 6, evening Mick, evening Alan. Boy, hello, brave man. Brave man or stupid man, I'm not quite sure. But I do prepare. I'm dressed up. I said in the other video, if you're going to come out at night, dress up as if you were planning to stay the night. But if something happens over these moorlands, and the rain and the winds come in and you have an accident, you break a leg, you're in big trouble. So don't dress like you're just going for half an hour walk expecting to be back in front of your fire in half an hour. Dress like you're planning to stay the night. But if something happens, then you've got a chance. So stay safe. Snow weekend, they say. Corey lad, they do. Stuart Wimbles, free your mind. All right, look out for the auroras, the ice. But I have been looking out. I haven't seen anything so far. Nick, very atmospheric, Mick. Watch you don't get too cold. I will do. It's very still. There's no wind, but it is freezing cold. I've got some proper big thermal gloves on. My hands, my fingers are dropping off. Will the big cat avoid you or people in general, Cliff? I'm not sure at all. I'm no expert on the big cats and how they behave. I just know for many months a big cat has been seen right on in this area, right on this path, and twice in the last week by people walking the dogs. Now a lot of people say, well, why is it not on camera? Why have they not filmed them? Because these people aren't walking around with a camera running like I am, and they've seen this animal, and within seconds the animals have gone off. I mean, I don't know where they go for the phone to try and record it, but it's gone, so it's too late. Lynn, be careful. I will do. Lynn Murphy, thank you very much. Susan, good evening. Good evening, Susan. Julie Brown, I doll, stay safe. I will do. Thank you very much. Much appreciate you guys. It's the community. It's like-minded people like yourselves who's interested in things like this that makes it all worthwhile. I'm not interested in numbers, a community. Getting a shot of the video and some amazing conversations to get going. And that's what it's about. People telling their stories, a community. Chris, how are we doing, Chris? Chris the Toffee, hope you're well, Nick Cooper. Tragically, 2 men died last week in the USA looking. That's a shame. It is a dangerous thing coming out. I do realise that on your own. And much safer coming out with people, obviously. I have been out with people before. I do like my own time. I like to come out on my own, but I'm going to arrange in this new year a lot more outings with people, anyone on this channel who's interested. I'm going to put videos on of where I'm going to be and what time, what date for meetups. If you want to come along, great, come along and we'll meet up, have a sky watch, have a walk over Pendle Hill. That's where it's most likely to be, at Pendle Hill. So if you're local or if you're not and you want to travel, that's great. Don't matter if you don't have equipment, don't bother. If you don't have equipment, come along, we can have a hike, have a chat. You can borrow some equipment. I'll show you some equipment, show you how to use it. Some collaborations coming up as well with quite a few people. Got a good friend called Anthony who lives in the United States on Staten Island. Had a very good channel called Unidentified S4. He set up another channel called Epic TV, and he's coming over in the next few months. He says we're going to collab and go over Pendle Hill. Ben from 401 Files. We're going to meet up in the Yorkshire Dales and spend the night in the forest, walking around talking about the Unexplained. I think Ben's idea was to have a radio each and set off on our own through these woods, keeping contact, what we see, also There's a guy called Jamie, the Yorkshire Walker. Been in contact with him. He loves getting out. We're going to go over, well, maybe Pendle Hill or Jamie's area, not sure yet. And there's a few of us. Well, the guys called who are always over Pendle Hill. Can't remember at this second. You're rough hikers, rough walkers. I can't quite remember at this second, but there's a few guys who go over Pendle Hill all the time. I'm going to meet up with them and collaborate with them. Rough walkers, I think they're called. I think so. Double tap for the light. Thank you. Who knew the salt must flow, Corey lad? I've seen some strange things in the sky and I'll never get over it. Crazy. So many people have. I've got so many stories I'm going to tell in the camper van on stormy nights when I can't get out. If it's fine, I want to get out. I don't want to sit in the van. So that's why there haven't been any of them videos recently. But on stormy nights, I will get out. Where are you at now, Pendle? I've been up to Pendle. I've set a trail cam up there a couple of days ago. I've been back up today, set another trail cam up, which arrived today. And I've set a trail cam up here, which is the Haslingden Moors, about 8 miles from Pendle Hill. And I was going to stay up Pendle Hill, but there's been a lot of sightings here. This big black cat, which many say is going to be a leopard. And I thought I'd get down this trail. The whole area, Pendle Hill, the Haslingden Moors, Haslingden Hill, it's one big area which has all got some very strange things going on. Beautiful clear skies tonight. In this area, UFO sightings. So many farmers in the area report lights they can't explain. Going across the skies, changing speed, changing direction. A lot of these farmers aren't into this subject. They just got their phones, and phones don't pick anything up. So I've been doing a lot of sky watching over this area. But yeah, 2 trail cams set up on Pendle Hill, which is literally, if it was light, I could see it from here within my view. But I will be doing a live directly on Pendle Hill in about 1 week's time. I'm just going to have a look at these comments. If you come across any dog men, I know somebody I've not, but it's interesting you should say that. All eyes open, because there was somebody over Pendle Hill, and there's a certain wooded area where apparently the dog man has been seen quite often. Also a place called Winter Hill, which is about 10-15 miles from here. There's a woodland called Dogman Wood. Now, some people will get the wrong idea with that name, but it does mean the Dogman, and it has been seen regular. The Lynn, is there a wild cat out there? How far do you think the cat will travel for food? And has any farmers suffered loss of animal stock? This wild big black cat has been seen many times over the last few months, and twice this week on this very path which I'm stood on now. This path here, running across the path. I'm not too remote. We're near a village called Rising Bridge, and I'm not aware of any farmers losing stock, although actually just a few seconds walk where I am now, there's a horse paddock. All the horses are in now, but they've been said to go mad over the last few weeks. Spooked. Nobody knows why, and the owners of the horses who have the stables just across this path have gone over and brought them in, and this is happening more into the evening. They do bring them in, especially with being the winter months, and I thought maybe they should set up a trail cam there, but a couple of them are very approachable and friendly, but the actual owner is not, and she'd tell you the right way to go if he suggested that. She's not approachable to talk to, so I'm not bothering. This tree, I'm talking about storms come down. In the last storm a few days ago, and I've noticed many trees coming down on this path, and it's looking nobody's been hurt or killed. And every time I see a tree, which I've seen many as I'm walking about, come down, I'm always dreading walking towards it, because things happen in real time, and why should anybody be the last person on site instead of the first person? I'm always dreading that I see somebody who's been injured or killed under this tree. Just look at these comments again, Alan. Not seen them. Or to someday. Well, I'm saying I'd love to. I don't know what I'd do if I did. But it'd be great to get something like that on camera. Good evening, Happy New Year to you and your family. Elven Queen, thank you very much, Elven Queen Angel. Yeah, Happy New Year to everyone. I was going to say that at the beginning of the video and I forgot. Cora lad. I was just froze in shock and amazement. Crazy, Chris the Toffee, Windtail. Can you see that from? Can see that from my house. The river we call it. Great. So local. John P. Good evening, good evening, John. Alan. Love your videos and all the best for the new year. Thank you, Alan. Chiron, how you pronounce it? I will do too, mate. Ghost of York. Hello, Ghost of York. Hope you're well. Ghost of York is a bit of a subscriber, I should say, for quite some time, and always in the comments. Great outlaws. Thank you very much. I carry on walking. I was carrying on walking a little bit down here because I'm literally out on this square feet now where this big cat was seen a week ago, and the second sighting was just up on the moorland, which is just literally a couple of minutes past up these trees, running across the moorland. Some people comment it's my accent. I've got a very broad Lancashire accent, and when I say moorland, a lot of people say moor. It's just the way I talk. So thank you all you subscribers, old and new. Lots of new people come to the channel, and the reason I started looking into more things like this, I thought I'd broaden the channel. It was all UFOs before, still doing plenty of that, lots of that coming up, lots of sky watching. But the paranormal, the cryptids, the big cats, over at Pendle Hill, the Pendle witch stories are all fascinating. We'll cover any mystery. I'm also gonna go over and visit Clitheroe Castle, supposed to be very haunted. There's an old abandoned Gothic mansion only a few miles from here, built 200 years ago. It was an old refugee and hospital for the Polish during the Second World War. And another abandoned mansion on the Todmorden Moors. Now Todmorden, about 10 miles from here, that really is a UFO hotspot. And this mansion is 500 years old. It was built by the Parker family. And they lived there. Well, the generations of this Parker family lived there for a long time. And then the head of the family was killed in a fire, and they all moved out. I think it was used as a farmhouse for a little time before it got abandoned, and that's still standing. It's 500 years old. It's amazing. I've been before. I'll go again. I will film it. In the daytime, I'll go on my own. In the night time, it will be with a group of people. Somewhere like that. Check these comments. Love your videos. All the best for the new year. Thank you, Alan, Jerome. Thank you very much. All the best to you and Happy New Year, Alan. We all was. Do you have a plan if you come face to face with it? No, but I've just heard something then, which I've changed direction. I think I've read a couple of the top comments. I don't have a plan. The plan is just to film it and hope it runs off. I've been looking into these. I'm presuming you're talking maybe about the big black cat. The leopards are very aggressive. I just heard, I don't know if you heard that. I'm walking this direction. Like glass smashing. It doesn't matter because I'm gonna go on. We'll go for it, we'll walk down. Maybe come across what that was. I think somebody, well, it sounded like somebody else might be out here. John H. Hi, John. Hope you're well. So if you're just joining to do a quick live feed, I'm on the Haslingden Moors, right next to Pendle Hill. Set some trail cams up on Pendle Hill. I've set a trail cam up here. The reason I'm setting up on Pendle Hill because of the paranormal activity that goes on, and there has been sightings of the big black cat over the cryptids. But this area, like I said, just slight. That's the horse paddock I was talking about, just up there. Just a few miles drive. Here on the Haslingden Moors from Pendle Hill. Many sightings of a big black cat, twice this week, by people walking their dogs on this very path. No, it's not on film. because the sighting is 2-3 seconds and it's run off. One guy said he had his flashlight right in this animal's face, the cat's eyes, reflecting. It was no mistaking a big black cat, a black panther, black leopard, whatever you want to call it, and it ran off. Had he been walking along like I am doing, it would have been on film, but he wasn't filming, he was walking his dog. Just having a look at the comments. Chris, would you get some live streams from the mirrors in the summer and late evenings? Yes, definitely. And I have done. A few months ago, back late summer, the autumn, I did do a few live streams there. I'm going to buy a lot more trail cams as well and set them up. A few more in different areas of Pendle Hill, a few more here. They can run all night. I did a video the other day and I had a big lump of steak. I set this Silence camera running. Now the settings are to have the Silence camera on. Drains the battery within an hour, so I could only leave it and film for an hour. When I got back, the steak was still there, nothing on camera. So, like I said in the video, the steak is still there. I'm going to take it on, cook it for my tea with a Southern Comfort. That's what I did. Points a bit glad it was still there. I was starving. But obviously disappointed in a way. I'm going to turn on now. We're coming to the end of this path and we're going to walk right back up. I call it the big cat path now. This is the sizings here. Lovely and clear, but I'm doing the live stream on my phone, so the phone's not going to pick up the stories. It's a perfect scar watching night because it's jet black, the stars are out, dark skies around here, and there's no moon. That's the main thing. When you get a moon, it washes everything out. But that is the forecast for the next few nights. So I'll be over here tomorrow night on these mirrors with this Silence camera, filming them stars. Just walk back up this path. I'm not going to speak for about a minute or two, just to see if we get anything on camera, any wildlife at all. I'm just going to have to readjust these. There we go, that's better. Always spooky. I know I said I'm not going to speak. Always a bit thingy when you turn around, especially when you hear something behind you. But as you can see, it's jet black. So I do want to thank everyone for joining this live stream. It's just a hike, it's just a little walk on a path through these woods on the Haslingden moors where a big black cat has been seen very often, twice this week. And this path actually is an old railway line. I also saw something moving up there. There is a lot of deer around here. And I'm going to get this thermal image camera and that will pick things up. It's an old railway line, discontinued. I'm not sure. I did look it up once, long time ago. No, it's a broad guess, 50, 60, even getting up to 80 years ago. This was a railway line. We've got a railway arch bridges going across it. Freezing cold. It affects your speech when it's so cold. Craig, good evening. Have you seen the aurora tonight? I'm looking out for it. And I'm looking up now. It's so clear. It really is. And I want to really just get this Silence and do some sky watching, but it's going to be like this for the next few nights, so I'll stick with this tonight. And I'm looking out. I'm going to be out of these very, you can see how muddy it is, very slippy. Lots of rain recently, trees have come down, but I'm looking out for the aurora. If I see it, I will point this camera. I don't think, give me a second. Won't be a second. I'm just readjusting these lights I've got with me. If I do see this aurora, because it is supposed to be, there we go. It's just hard work when you're on your own holding the phone. I'm holding 2 flashlights up because just to make it a bit brighter. I will point the camera, but nothing at the moment. I think there is a bench up here. If I find this little bench, I'm just gonna sit down and pull these gloves more onto my hands because the ends of my fingers are freezing. Storm, Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to everybody. It's always worth looking back on this footage afterwards, which I will be doing always on a big screen on the TV if you can, because you never know what you've caught on camera. I always say that. Very few things I see as I'm filming, especially with the naked eye. There are things I see through the cameras and through the Cianets which I don't see with the naked eye, and plenty of things I miss until the footage is watched back. And this is why I upload old videos, because a lot of people, even though I think I haven't seen anything, do notice something in the footage. Right, I'm just losing grip of one of these. Give me a second. One of these flashlights. Right, that's better. When you're live, aren't you? Just saw something move across the path up there. I don't think I was pointing the camera in that direction. Right, I just found a little bench. Just give me a minute. I need to get things straightened up here because I'm all... This light will be back in a minute. Just give me a second to adjust everything here. Maybe I can put that light on. But this particular light has got... something's rattling about, so... That's better. Maybe. It's rattling about. We're just chilling out. Maybe. I could just sit here quietly for a second. Let's have a look at the comments. I have actually got a beer in my pocket, but I've no hands to drink it with. Don't know what that was there, probably a moth or something just went by. Have you thought about getting a rear facing camera as well? Absolutely funny you should say that, because I did do yesterday, I did a little camera, a rear facing camera to put on my back, so when I'm out and about, because yeah, I agree 100%, any animal is more likely to be filmed from behind you as you're walking, not in front of you. That's the way they work. So yeah, but you should say that I bought one yesterday, so we'll be using that. The aurora was fantastic about 6 PM. I wasn't out then. Probably missed it then. That's a shame. Goes to you. Mick, what do you think about the UAPs, UFO drones all over the skies? It's frightening times. It's very odd, all these drones. I don't know. Are they always the drones? Some people say any intelligence that can travel to this planet won't have a problem imitating our craft. Well, a good way to sort of camouflage themselves in a way, and I don't. It's odd. At first, I thought that they were, literally just drones, and there was something going on which they weren't telling us. But the more footage you see of these drones, they're acting very odd. They're moving at angles which drones don't do. They're moving at speeds which no drones don't do, I should say. They're certainly not commercial drones what you can buy in the store. And I thought there was police drones. If they are ours, they're very advanced and they're not released to the public. And as for what they're doing, I know there were theories about they were sniffing out some sort of nuclear material and this, that and the other. I don't know. It's still going on though. And over New Jersey especially, my friend Anthony from Staten Island filmed a huge one going over his house. It was big, the size of a car, and a lot of it been reported as being the size of a car, the size of a school minibus in some cases. There have been many sightings over in the UK, mainly above military bases and especially US military bases. So it's all very interesting. There's definitely a pattern. There's definitely some sort of pattern. And I don't know what's going on. But as for the UFO and UAPs, I think personally we're being drip fed a slow disclosure. There's never going to be an announcement on the TV. You're never going to see that on the news. I think it over the years is just going to be drip fed, so it becomes accepted by the generations, the new generations being born into this planet. That's what I think. Definitely no big announcements or disclosure. Anthony Smith, evening Mick, my friend. Evening Anthony, do you prefer the night walks as opposed to the day walks? You're definitely braver than me. Tony and Kim. Yes, Tony and Kim. I've read and replied to your comments. Thanks for watching these videos, the both. I like them both. I do. I love the day walks, but I do like getting out at night. Sometimes I don't want to really bump into anyone. I just want me on time, and you can always guarantee that at night time. Although I've had some very eerie experiences, seen some very strange things, and especially sounds you hear, odd things, but your mind plays tricks with you when you're out like this. And if I said it doesn't bother me and I don't look over my shoulder, I'd be lying. I've gotten more used to it now than I did at the beginning. At the beginning, really, I just couldn't wait to get back home, years ago. But it doesn't bother me now, to be honest with you. You can see me condensation there, how cold it is. So what I'm going to do, give me a second, because if I can set these flashlights up there, and if I can give me a second. Hang on, what can I do with this camera? I was going to get my can of beer out, but to be honest with you, I cannot hold it. I need 3 hands, and I've got 1 hand on these. I've got 1 hand on this camera. I've got a big, thick pair of gloves on, but it's absolutely freezing cold, so I've no idea how I'm supposed to hold this can of beer or open it. So I'll wait till I get home for that one. I'll carry on. And I'll put these torches. Give me a second. Yeah, so it is. I do like both. I just love going out. I mean, I prefer to be out here than sat in front of the TV. And the stars are so bright. It's such a shame. Just have a look. Maybe you can see one there, the brightest star with this phone. And I know with phones you can pick up the aurora, but there's nothing at the minute. I just love being out. But I will be lying if I say it doesn't completely bother me when I'm out like this. I feel a bit more comfortable over these mirrors, the Haslingden mirrors. Pendle Hill is a different story. There's something there. And I tell you what, with Pendle Hill, I've had so many cameras and phone battery die. No, he's probably a bird. I've had so many Can you hear that? Let's have a look. Something moving about somewhere. I've had so many batteries die in my phones and cameras over Pendle Hill when they're fully charged, completely died. I was once filming this black object way up there years ago with I only had my phone at the time. Very blurry footage, you couldn't pick anything up, but a definite black sphere moving along in the sky. My phone, sorry, was on 94%. It just died, completely died. When this object passed, the phone just switched on its own and fired up and back to normal. But that's happened many times. Many locals do report that. People going over with their phones and cameras doing photography just of the landscape, nothing to do with the unexplained, the paranormal. Have found their equipment dying. Many people have mentioned something to do with the energies, ley lines over Pendle Hill. Could be affecting people's equipment. Whatever it is, it's very odd and it happens quite a lot. Just let me check the comments. Can't beat it now. Well, definitely not curry. Love it. I brought this can of beer. I was going to sit down and just chill out, talk to you a lot and drink it, but I didn't figure out how I was going to hold this phone and these flashlights and the can of beer with these gloves on. So I'll have it when I get back. I've got an electric bike, so I tend to get out on that at night. Yeah, brilliant. Brilliant. Anybody who gets out day or night, you need to. It does you the world of good. I know a lot of people who suffer with some depression, anxiety, and I work in a different job now, but I have been a personal fitness trainer for 30 years, and I worked that as my only job for many, many years. But I don't do it anymore. I wanted to change and do something different, but I used to always recommend to people, because so many people were afraid of coming into the gym, but I used to do a lot of outdoor stuff, you know, your boot camps, things like that, and I used to get them outdoors. They loved it. And I always recommend, if you're feeling like that and a bit down, depression, get yourself out, and preferably if you can with somebody else, keep on the safe side, but it does the world of good. Even doctors will prescribe that. Still trying to figure out how I can have this beer, but I can't. I'll have to wait till I get home. Because if I put this camera down on a bench or something like that, it's just gonna, this phone, it's just gonna fall off. I'd either break the phone or disrupt the live feed, so there we go. So like I was saying, this is an old railway line. And this is something to do. Quite an eerie looking thing with the railway line. I'm not quite sure what it was, but this is from them days. And also there's a old stone platform up here, which I'll show you. I'll carry on walking up and show you. I'm not going up on the mirrors today, keeping my eye so clear on the skies for this aurora, because I know you can see it quite well through. Just see a star there. Just panning the camera around. Can't see any colourful lights in the sky. So I'm not going on the mirrors. I haven't got the science on me to do any sky watching. But it's a perfect night. It's still, it's cold, it's a black sky, them stars are so bright. No moon. But it's going to be like this all week. So like I said, I'll be out there. Get these flashlights straight, I'll be out there tomorrow. I'll stay a few hours. Probably go out about 7 o'clock and stay till 12, 1 in the morning. Now we're just reaching. Thought I heard something behind me again, but one of these railway arches on this old railway line. And again, a very paranormal area. Many people have reported figures being seen on this old railway line, but one of the most impressive. I won't point the camera in that direction again. I think there's someone staring out this farmhouse window at me, but there we go. I don't want them to get the wrong idea. One of the most commonly reported things on these lines is the sound of trains, hustle, bustle, train station, tannoys, platforms, people. Don't think anyone's ever seen a phantom train going up, but it's a audio thing. Never heard that myself, but like I said in the other video, wouldn't you have to walk a certain trail which reports them sort of things hundreds if not thousands of times by time you got that particular night or day where you heard something like that? Who knows? But if this big black cat is around near me, like it was with that dog walker and that other dog walker over the mirrors, it will be on this camera. Nothing so far. I'm going to show you the platform of these old railway lines that have been discontinued for the last 50, 60, 80 years. I'm not sure I did look that up once. But we're approaching a few farmhouses now. It's getting a bit later, so I'll just get past these. Got to read the comments. Give me a second. Nearly went flying then, as you can see. Even though it's freezing cold, full of puddles. I've not had time to freeze yet, but I'm sure by morning they will be frozen up. No, you're out there with the Aurora. I'm actually using my phone to live stream here, but you do actually need it on night setting. Although I have seen it through normal setting on phones before, but not as bright as the night setting. But I'm out for the next few nights, and I'll be bringing this science camera out, which really does pick up things in the sky and any light of the Aurora. I can't see it at all. With my naked eye, it's just black. So this is the trail I take up to the moorland, which is up there. As you can see, that's where the moorland starts, and that is where the second sighting of the black cat was seen. But I'm not going up there tonight. I'm going up there tomorrow with this sound. It's sky watching. I'll just check it around. Yeah, I think you're right there. You need the phone on the night setting. Although I have seen it on normal setting before. I can't see anything at all. Just pointing over there. We are just passing a couple of farmhouses, and then as you can hear, there's a road and a village, then them lights. What we're walking towards now. And it was likely stalking the dog, mountain lions do that. Yeah, quite possible. Funny because you said in one of your videos a lot of people see things whilst having a smoke. Yeah. No, they do, yeah, but well, 100% agree with that. A lot of people see things while they're stood out having a smoke, because half the time that's the only time they go out at night time, when they're stepping out into the gardens having a smoke. And I know that myself years ago. I've always been interested in the night skies, and when I was a teenager I used to have a few cigarettes myself, and living at my mum and dad's then, they wouldn't have smoke in the house, so I had to step out in the back garden, and I used to see shooting stars, satellites, other things moving across. Fascinated me. In fact, I actually look forward to going out, and I think that actually made me want to smoke more cigarettes, which probably not a good thing, but shit, I can see something. I think it's a deer. It's gone. I don't know whether I picked it up. Something's just run right across in front of me. It was a deer. My heart is going there. I was just going to say on the right hand side here is a factory. That's what all these lights are. Just seen a deer. I can see it. There's a few of them. 1, 2. I don't think. Keep still, see if you can see. You might just see something white mid-screen. You can hear. Jumping about. I can't zoom in. I can, but I've got my gloves on and I can't get my gloves off quick enough to zoom in. 4 or 5 deer all running through there. American Werewolf in London. I used to love that film. Yeah, absolutely loved it. It is like, yeah, I know what you mean. Around here, the American Werewolf in London. It's like the Blair Witch Project in these woods. So I don't know where anybody else saw them. I still hear something running about. But there was one deer right in front of me on the path, run across. Don't think I picked it up, because I think I was pointing the camera in the wrong direction. But something, deer run off. They all ran off. There were about 5 of them, but I can hear something. Walking about up there. And these flashlights just aren't reaching far enough. Look back on that footage, you'll see about 5 or 6 whitetails running through these woods. American Werewolf in London. I think one of the most frightening scenes in that was he in a bed in the middle of the forest and suddenly opened his eyes with them teeth. I remember watching that as a kid. That frightened me to death. There was a story behind that, actually. I'm going on a bit now. I know I'm going on a bit, but I used to love that film, and my dad used to like going into the bookies. He won a bit of money on the horses, give us £10 each, and I went out and bought the American Werewolf in London on video. Very pleased with myself that I bought this film, because I was an 18, I was only about 14 at the time, I think, but I got away with it because I always looked a bit older at that age. And I come home and said to my dad, I bought this American Werewolf in London. 10 minutes later, he threw. This is what dads used to do. Didn't mean anything by it. Loved me to bits. He rolled up the newspaper and threw it at me and said, look at the TV guide. And actually that film was on that night on Channel 4, the station was called at the time. And bless him. He actually died when he was 39. Later that year, I was 14, 15. Lung cancer. He didn't even smoke. He didn't smoke, guys. He wasn't only the best friend. He called himself parents who were actually friends rather than just laying down the law. Miss him very much, but that is... How long ago is that now? A long time ago. 30 odd years ago. So I'm just going to show you this platform. And thank you very much for everybody in this chat. I know I started waffling on, but I suppose that is what live streams are about. And some people will be saying, what does waffling mean? That's a UK term for basically talking shit. Something like that. Just talking about nothing. Just look at the comments. I saw some eyes shine. I'm going to look back at this footage because there was some deer in the woods. Oh God, I like him. American Werewolf in London. Corey lad, I know what you mean about staring into space and the stars. All of a sudden, the star starts moving and there's no way they're all satellites. A lot of them will be satellites. Some people comment saying they're not satellites. Satellites are, they don't exist. It's bullshit. Got to use some common sense. There are satellites that were. People will say, well, how do you know? I can't prove it. Well, I'm just looking at the world and how it works. And, your phones and your technology, and that needs some sort of relay and communication. So it makes sense that they're satellites, but they're not all satellites. No way. A lot of people say they're just satellites. They're all satellites. They're not all satellites. Anyone who says that has not been out at night time for hours on end looking up at these stars. If you step out, chances are you will see satellites crossing, but when you're out all night, there's things. There's so many little lights moving, changing direction, changing speed. which even the Silence camera hasn't picked up. So it can't be proven. So what is going on there? Definitely invisible to our technology. So old platform here where people used to stand and wait for the trains. Crazy. It ends here. There's a factory over there. Holland's Pies. I think most people have heard of Holland's Pies. That is what that factory is. But this is an old platform. So I think people used to stand on here waiting for the train to come past on these lines. Love it. Crazy. Just check out the comments before I go. Saw lights in the sky before I saw lights. Yeah, this is it. So many people. So many people have seen lights before. All these satellites were everywhere. I saw the Starlinks the other day. I remember the first time I saw them over Pendle Hill. They'd only just been released. I knew about them, but I'd never seen them. And they're quite eerie to watch. You knew the other days they were all coming over. It almost looked like some invasion, but I knew they were the Starlinks. But they can be very, I think one person commented, quite frightening to see. As a teenager, I had to ride and push our bike back from my mate's house to mine, about 3 miles across the Moors in the fog. After watching that film, it held me. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I think I have them memories as well. I don't blame you at all. So guys, this little live stream, which we're only going to be 20 minutes, walking down this pathway where a big black cat has been seen twice this week by credible people who have no reason to lie. They're just out walking the dog. I've reported this, and there have been many reports over the months in this area. So I thought I'd do a live stream. I thought I'll walk down. I've done a few videos where I've been filming. I've set a trail cam up just on the moorland at the side of this path where a black cat was seen running over the other day. I wasn't going to set up the trail cam on the path, but it is popular with dog walkers. So it is going to be activated with people walking the dogs. And apart from that, at night time these trail cams do have a red light which is visible, and I don't want someone to take the trail cam, so it's hidden away over the mirrors. I've got 2 set up over Pendle Hill for the same reason, plus anything else over there. The Paranormal, this trail cam does show the sky, so anything crossing the skies will be picked up. So there's 2 over Pendle Hill. There's 1 here. I'm going to order another tomorrow, get 2 set up over here, and then I will be doing a live stream walkabout over Pendle Hill in a few days' time. So this is quite a random one. I put it on last minute decision, but the Pendle Hill I will schedule it for a few days in advance, so you'll know when it's coming up. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Lynn. Happy New Year to you. Webbyte, are you alone? I am alone, completely on my own. Is there any action? Michael, no action, apart from a few deer, I think, running around, a few weird noises. But I'm off now. That's it, guys. So thank you for watching. I've got this can of beer in my pocket, which I haven't got a spare hand to get out and drink. Holding these flashlights, holding this phone, gloves on, absolutely freezing. Hopefully we're going to get some snow overnight in the next few days. It's supposed to be very clear tomorrow night, so I'll be out with the Silence camera filming these skies. I'm not sure whether to go over these mirrors or go over to Pendle Hill. I'm working in the daytime tomorrow, so I'll see how I feel when I get back sometime. I'm not sure. I think I might go to Pendle Hill. Sometimes it is easy to get onto Pendle Hill. It's just a bit of a steeper, more tiring climb to get where I want to be up there than it is here. That's what I'll do. Cheers, Mick. Stay safe. Thank you very much. Thanks for the live, Mick. Safe journey back. Thank you. Thank you for the live. Cliff, thank you for that. Stuart Wimbles, thank you. Chris, thank you. Meadow, sweet, thanks. All the best to you and yours. Same to you. First trade. Bye, Mick. Go for that beer. Thanks, Mick. Says Storm, Webbite. Take care. Go Savio. Bye, all. Thanks all for watching. It's been great. Much appreciated. Now I'm going to fumble around a bit now and try and balance these flashlights and take off my glove and hold this phone while I end this live stream. So hopefully everything doesn't go crashing to the ground. I'm going to take these off with my teeth. Thanks Mick, always appreciated. Anthony Smith, thank you very much. All eyes open. Epic viewing, thank you. Enjoy the beer cliff, yes, boy. Thank you, stay safe. Cheers guys. I'm out of here and I will be watching this footage back, but there's something in them woods. I think there was deer. They was all running, so there was something chasing them, who knows. Cheers guys. You lot, take care. Leave a comment, I'll always reply. Get yourself out if you can. But stay safe and preferably don't do as I do. Go out with somebody else. Safer that way. See you later guys.